views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the host and guests and do not necessarily reflect those of the producers, network, or sponsors. Listener discretion is advised.
All right. So today's topic, this is for business owners. Okay. So imagine meron kang business. Okay. And your business is successful. And your business is successful because you have great employees. Siyempre, in every business, meron tayong napapaandar sa isang business is sales. Right? Diyan mo makakuha yung income, yung profits. Pero in all business, number one kasi, pag wala ito, wala kang business. So you need sales. So I was asked the question before, what if you have a successful business and then dun sa sales team mo, meron kang top sales guy or top sales girl. The question here, let's not go to the question. Bigyan natin ng context si top sales manager, top sales agent, top sales guy or girl. Matagal na sila dun sa company mo. 10 years, one decade. In that 10 years, top performing siya, laging nako-contribute, helping around build your business. And then, talagang model employee siya. What would you do? What would you do if you found out that your top sales employee or sales manager, you accidentally, you discovered na drug addict pala? Okay. Baka hindi drug addict. Pero, let's say, addict sa sugal. Or, alcoholic. There's another question pa. What if child abuser or wife abuser? Or the other way around, husband abuser. But in your business, model employee siya.
So top performer, pero there's this bad side na hindi natin nakikita.
There's a dark side na hindi natin nakikita sa personal side.
Yes.
Okay. So that's the main question. Ikaw as a business owner, what would you do?
That's a hard situation kasi this employee does something or is performing din sa company, pero for the value, nagdadagdag yung employee na yun. He or she still adds value to the company. It's just that there's this dark side that we don't know. So if it doesn't affect the company or yung output nito sa company, siguro it still depends on the situation. Pero do you think it still affects the company kapag there's this dark side of him or her?
I think everyone's different. Every business owner is different. So others would say, if they found out accidentally, now for example, nakita ko sa casino, grabe, mag-bet to the point na ubos na yung pera. So lifestyle choices is not aligned with the company's values. So I asked that one business owner kasi they found out na that employee is deep into, invested in going to casinos. Yeah, having a great time to the point na talagang walang-wala. But it never affects her performance. It never affects her contribution to the company. That employee is one of the main reasons the company grew to success. Right? So now the dilemma of this business owner is to try to decide, tatanggalin ba natin siya? Or should we retain her and ignore the fact na she has a bad lifestyle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. The question is, if he or she can add value to the company, or since nakagawa siya ng way to add value to the company, why can't he or she do that for himself or herself? Para sa sarili nila.
That's their personal life. Wala tayong say dyan sa personal life nila. Right? So ikaw, for example, let's get an example. At work, you do you work, you perform the best that you can, diba? But on outside work, you're a guy who likes motorcycles,
Yeah.
right? Other people would say that's risky.
Yeah.
Diba? Motorcycles are risky. The percentage of deaths with motorcycles are very high, especially years of Pinas, compared to four-wheelers, right? But that's what you enjoy.
Yes.
That's your stress reliever, right? Everyone is different. Some people would love to bungee jump, skydive. Like maybe to you, that's a little too far now, right? But those practices are not bad lifestyle. We're talking about extreme bad lifestyle. There was another business owner, which this one was a sad one. Child abuser. When I say child abuser, not physically but emotional abuser. So in terms nalaman niya, because apparently they found out that the wife nagsumbong na ito nga best performer and everything, but put things aside, very hard on the kids, tough love, child abuser in terms of emotional child abuser but not physical. So ang tendency ng mga bata pag uwi ng father, nagtatago sila. Ayun. So that leaves a dilemma to the business owner or HR, the management. Should we remove this type of person in our team? Should we accept the fact that his core values towards children and towards family doesn't align with ours? Or do we keep him and we gain from his skills and his performance? So that's another dilemma.
Yeah.
Okay. Madaming ganyan. Yung iba naman, alcoholic.
Yeah.
Pero sober siya during work. Pero after work, straight to the bar, and he drinks his heart out.
Yeah.
Literal. To the point na, as in, pag-uwi, wasak talaga. Sipa ng red horse. So, yun nga. What would you do as a business owner if you found out that your employee is one or the other? Yeah. Ikaw, as, let's say may business ka, what would you do?
I think if I had a company and then I had information with regarding one of my staff or employees, I'd start with creating an organization or this event na we do in our company where it's something like health and wellness, or it develops the activities of each employee. So if an employee is excelling in this kind of sport, we do this. So at the same time, if that's a positive event, we can also do the mental health events in the company. So the employees are more, or they would feel more safe within the company. Now it's up to them if they would be able to open up to the HR or whoever they're going to be assigning in that event. So, that's one situation where I would do, or what I would do in my company as a business owner.
Sports and fitness intervention.
Yes, yeah,
Right.
something like that.
O sige, let's say nagawa mo na yan. But what if let's say after like a whole, let's say 3-month intervention, and it doesn't work, would you still retain that employee?
I think it still depends. Like you said, it's as long as it doesn't hinder him to do the output that he has to do, and at the same time it doesn't affect the company badly, I think we should still consider other factors where, before terminating that person, even though, he or she has that dark side.
If you think about it, there's no grounds for termination.
Yes.
Actually, you're digging your own grave as a business if you're going to terminate a person because they don't align with your values,
Just
personal
because,
values.
yeah. Well, just because they have that dark side of them, it's not. Yeah, you're right. It's not. There's no grounds for termination. Yeah.
So I think it goes the same as on the personal side. It did happen to me like I think a few years back. I used to have a very close friend. He was from down south, and then we were good buddies for quite a while. Talaga. We only see each other like every month, every month, and because he lives down south, and then I think we've been friends for more than a decade. And then I found out that there was domestic abuse involved in the situation. At first, I thought it was just me yung mag-asawa. Yung nag-aaway, nagbubugbugan. But because back in the past, ganun na sila. And then I found out that the children got involved. Not in a domestic violence, but in something different. It was a little, sabihin natin, it was, I don't know what they called it. Sexual abuse.
Mhm.
Yeah. I decided personally that why would I stay friends with someone like this who I don't feel safe? I won't feel safe him being around my family.
Yeah.
Maybe the domestic abuse, maybe our whole family knows how to box, how to kickbox, how to do martial arts. But with the kids, I don't think I could trust a person like that around my daughter, around my son. May ano na eh, right? So if this same guy was my employee,
Mm.
and he's the one reason the business went successful, it's a really hard decision, you know. Let's say no boundaries. If I want to be a total asshole, I'll probably juice the guy up to the point where, okay, I need to get sales this much. After that, kick him out. Yeah, but I love your idea because intervention works, but not 100% of the time. But it works at most if, ano kasi, imagine you have a hobby at may nakikialam.
Yeah.
Sasabihin sa'yo, huwag ka na magmotor. Ano yan? Risky. Diba? Parang,
At some point, if I was in that position, I'd say it's none of your concern.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. My point, right? Or sasabihin, huwag ka na mag-casino. Sama yan. Okay. Right? Pake mo. Yeah? Pokemon. Yeah. Right? So exactly my point in those scenarios. So that's a really big dilemma. What do you think? Why don't we ask people, let's ask business owners, what do you guys think? Why don't you guys comment below? If you found out that an employee of yours has a really bad, extreme lifestyle, one that's alcoholic, someone who does drugs, someone who does domestic violence, and anything similar to that, or maybe outside of that, it doesn't matter. Why don't you give us a comment down below and see what would you do as a business owner or as an HR or as a manager? Would you still do intervention, or would you still would you decide to just kick that person out and let's find another? Right? What would your best scenario be? What would your best solution be? Yeah, hit us up on the comments, and then we'll probably read them on our next podcast.